first off, we'd like to thank every one of y'all from UNC administration for meeting with us today. I am Shanisha Francis.
I'm Allie Christopher.
I'm Erin Gamba.
I'm Alex Millsaps.
I'm Marge Lamont.
And this is our new venture called Money Moves. So the student debt crisis is crippling America, coming in at a total of $1.5 trillion. And just to put that in perspective for all of y'all, with $1.5 trillion, you could buy the NCAA 1,000 times. So that's a lot of money. So at UNC, we're all students here. We've seen a lot of issues with the financial aid process. So one of the big issues that we've seen is that high school students coming to UNC are not educated in their finances, whether that is student loans, scholarships, or if they're paying out of pocket, even like how much money is due and when it's due. A second is that there is not a single localized resource for financial aid other than the Office of Financial Aid, which can be really hard to get a meeting with, especially in the beginning of the semester. And then the third is that portals, so for us that's Connect Carolina, are really confusing for first year students. They often don't really know where to look or what they're even looking for. So to kind of combat all of that, we've made our website, Money Moves, which is going to serve as the single localized resource for financial aid.
So our mission at Money Moves is to create this localized resource in order to help college students or high school students transitioning to college to not have to focus on how they're going to finance their education, but rather they can focus on their school. And so where do you all come in? Well, we hope to partner with the University of North Carolina and create a long partnership that will help us in more ways than we can imagine. We hope to get access to university resources so that we can flesh out our website and make it more inviting and exciting for students that may want to use it. We also hope to integrate with university websites and departments so that we may have a university domain name or be included in Sakai or Connect Carolina. That way it is readily accessible for all students.
Okay, so this is the front page of Money Moves when you first open our website. Like Alex was saying, we were hoping that in this partnership we could achieve a domain name or access through Sakai and Connect Carolina, so it's a legitimate and easy resource for students to access in terms of financial literacy information. We've broken it down into about 4 different topics we think students would benefit most from. So we have how-to, scholarships, terms defined, and then just general FAQs that students might have. We've tried to keep it a pretty simple layout so it's easy for students to navigate through when they're looking for difficult information. On our first slide, we have how-to. So we have how to fill out the FAFSA form, we have how to set up payment plans for your loans, just different things students might need when they're looking for how to be more confident in their finances. We've tried to keep it more youthful in terms of language, so it's easy to read, it's ingestible by students. And then we also have like different graphics and breakdowns of different forms, so it's easier for students to read and understand what they're doing. We also have a scholarships tab, which when we expand outward, we would try and make it more specific to each university as a whole. So this is UNC's. We would do all the different scholarships UNC has to offer, and it kind of brings it into one localized resource, so you don't have to go to different UNC websites in order to figure out what scholarships they're offering at the school. So we've done a little bit of market research about different competitors that we have in the market. Obviously, there are different websites that compile different scholarship information. There's FinAid, which tries to break down financial aid, and then the US Department of Education. What we found though while going through these resources is that they're confusing, there's a bunch of different tabs, and sometimes information isn't consistent across these different websites. So what we're hoping to do and differentiate ourselves from these different competitors is we're hoping to create a localized resources that students can use. It would be more specific to universities, so we could do like cost breakdowns of like specific schools and maybe certain loans that they use as compared to different schools, and then just interactive with visuals, making sure that it's easy to read, students want to use it, and it's something that is accessible to them and makes sense so they can feel more confident in their finances moving forward.
So we've talked a lot about student finances. I think it's important now that we address our finances, our money moves, you could say. We're really encouraged by the numbers that we've been able to generate, but before we kind of dive into those, I think it's important to talk about scalability, because that's really where we're going to be generating a profit. So student debt and financial literacy aren't just issues at UNC, they are nationwide. So we really want to take this service out, like Erin said, to other universities and create this personalized service for them. This would come at the cost of $20,000 per semester. We'd be doing a subscription-based model. Of course, here at UNC, it'd be of no charge to you guys simply because we value our partnership with you so much and because we really need you to get this thing going and get it off the ground. Sort of going into the nitty-gritty of our money, we kind of take financial responsibility pretty seriously. So we've worked to cut costs, and even in our model, we've kind of overestimated costs and we've sort of underestimated our revenues to come up with the most conservative model that we can. In doing that, you can see our first year, it's small, but it's a positive number. It's only $146, but we're hoping to increase that as we expand out and we reach other universities, hoping to expand to 2 outside universities in our second year, hopefully 5 outside universities within our third year. I think it's also important just to note that we are really going to put our money where our mouth is, and we're contributing $5,000 in our own money from our pockets and $5,000 in collected capital we've gotten from friends and family who really support us. We really care about financial literacy and about really fighting student debt, and doing that really starts with our own finances.
So what's next? Well, financial aid does not have to be daunting, even though we think that it is today. And we hope that with your partnership, we're able to take this to the next level and ensure that students no longer have to worry every day about how they will pay for college. Instead, they can worry about how they're going to make an A on their next exam, which benefits not only them, but the university as well by increasing the ratings across the board. So we hope that you'll consider us when you think about future ventures, and we hope that you will partner with us, and together we can go very far. And now we would like to open up the floor for questions.
So do y'all plan to make it free for like the entire time for just UNC students, or like?
Yeah, so that's the plan. If you want to go over to the appendix, we have a financial breakdown. We kind of, because it's going to be $20,000 per semester, I got an estimate from a peer who I know who works at Adobe. She's a generalist consultant there, and she said $45,000 to $50,000 per year would be an estimate of what we could charge at other universities. And even with that, because we don't want to burden students by making their universities pay a lot, so we've cut that down even further as minimally as we can. But because of what the other universities are going to be able to provide, hopefully in that subscription, it should be enough for us to keep providing this to UNC for free.
Because it'll be free to students. What we're
Yeah.
doing is we're selling this to the university.
Yeah, sorry.
So don't you maybe feel like at some point if other universities find out that you're selling to UNC for free, would they feel some type of way they might want to hold the partnership from you guys?
That's a really great question. I think it would be important in just bringing up that discussion to them to let them know kind of what UNC did for us in terms of bringing us up the ground, just because in terms of our initial website development and testing and all this stuff, we really need UNC to do that so that we can go out and fight this student debt battle together. And I think just remembering that's at the heart of it. It's not really as much about us trying to get all their money, it's just like trying to help students out, trying to combat that.
I also feel that as it is with any venture, early investors always tend to give more for their money or for whatever they're offering. And with UNC, we don't necessarily need their money at this point because we are willing to put forth the time and effort to take it off the ground with their help. And them being an early investor, so to speak, we feel that giving it to them for free benefits both parties. Well, if there's no more questions, thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.